Yeah, and I'm looking forward to see the Keystones as well. Warlords, Bloodlust, I think, changes a little bit of what champions are able to play. For instance, the large amount of lifesteal you can get in lane as Vayne, especially when you can amplify that lifesteal with a Janus shield to increase your overall AD, I think makes Vayne viable in matchups where she wasn't viable before. Also, with recent patch changes to make Sivir's Ricochet crit, you're more likely to see her, and I do think Vayne has always been one of Sivir's natural counters. It's very easy when Sivir goes to push a side wave, which she does all too often. If Vayne just exists in the same lane, past level 6, I feel like Vayne can ultimate, close the distance, and just straight up kill Sivir.
Quickly take him out, and we know Piglet has those mechanics. If he gets going in any form, it's going to be very tough for Dignitas to feel confident about making any moves. Maybe they still will, but it will be difficult to make that happen with a smile if Piglet gets ahead. Starting off on this one, TP for Phoenix in the mid lane. We'll look for plays to be made there along with Lorlo. So double TP against the heal for Shifter, playing it safe, trying to get himself scaled up for the game.
Yeah, Shifter, fairly conservative laner as usual. Towards the bottom of the league in CS differential at 10. He usually gives up a lot of CS so he can have a higher presence in teamfights. Back a few years ago, that ended up working very well, but it has not worked as well the past couple of years for him.
We'll see how safe he plays this one. We're actually going to get the lanes that we want. Still get a little help to the jungler so they get the speed through as well. Both
Actually,
sides there.
incredibly mirrored starts.
Right.
Part of that is because of the deep warding that happened. It stopped the little... It basically scared the 80 carries off of doing a camp. Kiwi Kid was able to get a deep ward in the Gromp of Team Liquid. Therefore, instead of trying to do the Gromp and get harassed off, Team Liquid just went straight to lane. And then because Dignitas had warded, they didn't have time to go back and do their own Krugs. So we get the most standard of starts, with top laners pulling for junglers and junglers cycling. The paths are different, though. Dardoch has skipped all the way down to blue buff.
Yeah, he went down real quick. I was just watching where Kirei was. Thank you for catching that. Looking at bot, looks like level 2 will be Apollo's first. They leveled that quicker, so you can see not too bad. Vayne under the turret. Piglet's actually going to be quite happy in this position because he can even get the shield to hit minions that are out of range. Easy for them, only missing few.
Yeah. Sivir will shove in Vayne very early, but I don't think Sivir has any kill pressure on Vayne, which is what Piglet will be fine on. He'll be fine farming up. And to speak to the jungle a little bit there, Dardoch did a highly modified path because he had no knowledge of where Kirei had started, but they had their own jungle warded, so they were worried that Kirei was going to do a very quick jump into the blue side jungle of Dardoch, and he's done that modified path to prevent that. It means he's a little bit behind experience on Udyr, but it's safe.
We've seen Dardoch a few times show himself in lane, have ganks that don't go very well, but he does know how to repair the situation. Being behind here should not be too bad for him. Gold's completely even throughout the game as we have not seen any action. It looks like both teams are giving each other a bit of respect here. And I'd say, who would that actually help if things go very calm in the early game here?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say because a lot of it will actually have to do with how much farm Piglet is able to get in team fights since everything is channeled through to him. I think overall, a laning phase game that will transition to team fights does favor Team Dignitas a little bit, mainly because how many games did we see early on in the season with Billy Boss on Trundle in lane swaps where it would just become a teleport fest early and Team Dignitas would lose the game before he's level 6.
Right.
Trundle wants to have an extended laning phase where he can hit level 6, build up Titanic Hydra, Iceborne Gauntlet, and start bullying, and this type of game makes that much more likely to happen.
A bit of love towards top lane here. Dardoch's just hanging around to make sure Lorlo doesn't get too much aggression. Nuali's there. He'll take that Gromp on the top side. Billy Boss adding a little bit of love to the fight, and we are going to get a bit of vision here on the side of Kirei. He sees that. Oh, he does not see that ward. I thought it was just played.
They're going to run into each other here.
This is Billy Boss coming down. The repel's going to put him pretty much in the same spot. Kirei walks forward a little bit, which gave him an area to go more behind on that repel. So it works out. Flash blown.
Yeah.
Playing it dangerous.
Not the greatest counter jungle there by Dardoch because Kirei spotted them right at the tail end. And then Kirei took the appropriate path to cut off the Elise, knowing that Lorlo wasn't going to be able to lend assistance through the turret or through the giant wall that was going to stop him from being there. It'll hurt the lane pressure in top lane a little bit and expend his flash.
So there's a little bit more of that. Dardoch trying to take a different path, do different things. Gets caught out by Kirei. He'll stay top lane, though. You saw that was very low for Billy Boss. At least half HP is something they can work on.
Yeah, this is actually a counter gank by Dardoch. He's expecting the Uber to loop around and gank here. That's the only reason I believe he would be here. Because they knew that Trundle was so low that they'd have the health advantage in a 2v2. I think Kirei recognized that as well, that the counter gank could be possible, and I think he told Billy Boss to just go home. Although, he's sticking around. Now it's getting dicey.
You don't have to go out for that. Yeah, okay. Pushing in. He might lose a few to the turret.
It might threaten to dive. He's not level 6 yet. And because Udyr has bailed, he has to respect that push.
This is an option now for Kirei to kind of make a move. They know he's not top. Gives an idea to Liquid. They have to be safe, but Kirei's going to use this time of Dardoch being top to get some more, get some more of the jungle for himself. Lanes really haven't been affected too much with the TPs being hit up first. Billy Boss uses his to get back, so we won't see a huge play from there. Everybody's playing too safe, chat. We're getting antsy right now.
Yeah, standard lanes, that's all you need to make a really exciting game, Riv. Just playing against each other.
Not even really getting the CS lead too much. That's a great dodge on the Q. About an equal damage trade. Matt comes out a little healthier.
Yeah, people can still play very passive if they want. Nice ward in the river. Kirei's very low on mana as well, so even if he landed a bear stance, he wouldn't have the mana to do a Phoenix stance. He should just be looking... See, this to me is a mistake by Kirei. He should be clearing Krugs before recalling. Otherwise, it's just going to expose them to being under-leveled. He should be outpacing Dardoch's Elise by more than 3 CS right now. Dardoch did a modified route and also did a defensive gank, which Kirei did not match. So the fact that he's only ahead by 3 CS to me is a pretty big misplay.
Right.
For a champion that can jungle much faster based on the kit early game, and because Dardoch did a defensive path.
It seems like Dardoch, as well as seconds after Kirei, every time he's been playing that momentum. Kirei's actually going to be off to the wing on the left side here. TP's going to come in, which will help from Lorlo. Remember, Billy Bosses is down. That may be the majority of this play. That's going to be a kill going over onto Matt. They've traded one for Piglet. Piglet still getting shots in. Another TP now coming in. And it looks like they will be safe. Apollo does get taken down. And that first TP was from Phoenix, rather, not on Lorlo. What a crazy fight. And now Shifter's here. Flashes over, and he's able to get himself a kill. A whole lot of mayhem in the beginning of the game at the bottom side when really nothing was happening before.
Yeah, mayhem is the right word for it, because at the same time, Billy Boss didn't even teleport down, so technically Team Liquid burned both of their teleports on there in what was a 2-for-0 teleport advantage, and didn't come out of it with that monumental of a lead. The CS difference is going to catch up in the top lane to kind of neutralize that. But if you look at the dive in particular, they exhaust Apollo while they try going in. And it looks like Matt takes one too many turret shots, ends up giving away a kill credit to an Apollo ricochet. And the rest of the dive was decently clean as Dardoch and Lorlo stick around at pretty low health and Apollo can't follow through the kill. But then Dardoch and Lorlo they kind of hit a few minions on their way out. Shifter's able to flash in. I feel like if they could have left a minion standing near the turret, Lorlo could have used his heroic charge to slam to safety, but instead they farmed him away. Not the greatest dive by Team Liquid. Still a little bit advantageous, but I think it could have been a lot cleaner.
So TPs are down. Still flashes came out of that play, so if Liquid tries to get anything aggressive or keep pushing themselves in the jungle a bit, they can. Dignitas will be looking for it. Only 400 gold down. Still very much anybody's game. That early action just allows them now to spike. Get some items out and see who makes the next move. Kirei, kind of on the bottom side of the jungle now. He's spent a little time top, saw Dardoch, and now he's been working on that ward he wasn't able to clear. And then since the fight, just been balling.
Yeah. And I think to have Udyr work in the game right now, he needs to have a larger farm share. And Team Dignitas is going to need to dedicate a lane of some kind to him later in the game. Currently, though, Billy Boss would be their split pusher, and I don't really feel like they're set up to do a great 1-3-1 unless they have Sivir, Bard, Shifter in the mid lane, and then Udyr in the side lane. But he's going to be a little bit weak here, and Billy Boss getting dove again.
And still on the bottom side is Kirei. They're going to know that Dardoch is top. If they can't finish this kill, it may pay off just a little bit for grabbing something on that bottom, but they do get it. The turret aggro's back onto Dardoch. Lorlo gets out safely. And once again, Liquid start to find their targets.
Yeah, it's really difficult to dive a Trundle because he can gain so much health
Yeah.
and resistances from his ultimate. But at the end of the day, they burn his ultimate, his flash, and still get the kill out without burning a summoner. So a lot of credit there to Team Liquid for doing that dive, and it was made possible because they knew Kirei couldn't be there for the counter gank.
So kind of what's the repair move now? We thought it would have been a little more laid back, Kirei kind of super farming this game out, and that's almost what they have to do now.
Yeah, I mean, this is the counterplay to a ganking jungler. You find the area on the map he ganks, you go and steal his jungle.
Right,
So
yeah,
that was the correct move, but the problem is, it doesn't put him ahead. Dardoch had been hard farming beforehand, so even though he's behind in the minion total, he is still ahead of him in levels. Dardoch's a level 8, Elise against a level 7 Udyr.
Yeah, the 2-0-2 in the bag of chips on the side there with the kills and the farm for himself, almost built up on his core items. It's going to be difficult to stop Dardoch, whether it's the Lee Sin or now the takeaway Elise for Kirei, which makes Kirei feel a little bit uncomfortable. It seems to be working. Fights onto Phoenix. Shifter's been able to control the lane pretty well with that damage. Usually you figure you get pushed in by Lulu, but Shifter's not having it. You can do the same with Corki.
Definitely one of the better CS showings of the year for Shifter here. Also have to note that one of the reasons Corki is first pickable / the most pick / banned mid laner on the current patch is because of the early laning phase being so oppressive.
Yep.
Can trade very favorably with pretty much every matchup, also has a shove advantage, and doesn't need to use Valkyrie in lane, so can always use it if a gank approaches.
Cheeky little placement from Billy Boss. He's able to get a few extra hits in. Throwing the
Not
harass
upset.
down. You can hear the T-Mat going off. He's almost to that Titanic. Kirei showing top, but he's vision now. You see how fast Dardoch actually starts to skittle up here. And he's going to be just off on the wing. Great entry into it. He'll be seen by the ward on the other side, but nothing's going to come of it anyway. Got all excited for nothing.
Yeah, I do have to hand it to Dardoch this game. I feel like he has been ahead of Kirei in the mind games in a lot of different situations. This is a nice adaptation, though, by Kirei knowing that Dardoch went to clean his Krugs. It's a golden opportunity to take the Rift Herald. Kirei should take this and hopefully find a gank with the enhanced move speed. That's his way back in the game. I feel like if he doesn't get a gank off very early, it's going to be a slow burn for Team Liquid for the rest of the game.
Pretty, it's a top, maybe. It's going to be hard to gank all the other ones. Like you said, you're going to get kited so hard in most of these fights. Poppy is really the only one you're not going to have to jump on to walk up and hit her. Lorelo has actually been doing a lot better at staying out of those sticky situations. The beginning of the season, his Gnar was focused quite a bit, but we've seen Nautilus and Poppy a lot better at staying alive, being there when the team needs them past 6, and definitely having a better score line. Here, 92-96, keeping it even in that sense. We were waiting for the Tempered Fate hit, and there's the first one to come out. That will be the kill onto Piglet. Cannot leave the Vayne alone.
He had 2 cancel teleports at the end there, Phoenix and Lorelo.
Good eye.
And Billy Boss. So actually 3 cancel teleports, I think, unless Phoenix teleported into the mid lane. I have to double back and check that. That's exactly what Team Dignitas needed, though. They waited for Magic Recall, Tempered Fate to stop Piglet from recalling, and Kirei was coming through the lane with the empowered move speed from the Doom's Eve buff he gets from Rift Herald. Doom's Eye, Doom's Eve, one of the two.
Yeah. Good split second placement there as well by Kiwi Kid. Pretty easy for Vayne to just kind of roll out of that, but he gave it enough distance to catch her, even after the mechanics. So 4-3, Dignitas kind of turns the burn around. Things are starting to heat up for them, but they got to keep this consistency rolling. Top lane still back and forth. But making a move in the bot lane is definitely going to start things up for them.
Yep, desynced recalls from Piglet and Matt means the Kiwi Kid can get the Bard ultimate down. Great timing on the Bard stun when he removes stasis. And yeah, that was a double cancel teleport by Team Liquid and a single cancel by Team Dignitas. So they will be coming up faster than your standard teleport. 200-second cooldown instead of your base 300-second cooldown. Still hurts, though, that they even began the channels on those after Piglet had died.
A lot of love for the lanes. No love for the objectives this game. No real pressure towards Dragon whatsoever. Both teams are happy farming it up for now. Kiwi Kid looking to just do a bit of damage if Matt wants to get a Warden. Look like they'll be able to work off too much. You see Billy Boss's teleports down there. It's a dangerous miss.
Oh, just an inch away from the wall.
Yep.
Kiwi Kid will Bard away through the speed shrine, picks up a meep. No catching that guy. Oh, Billy!
Oh, he quickly autoed the minion, which kind of killed one of his steps. Still gets lower to blow his flash. He's perfectly happy with that. blew his as well, but has control of the lane as he pushes towards the turret. A move by Kirei actually pushes Lorlo off a little bit more, so top should be theirs in just a few seconds. And Phoenix, he's been doing his damnedest to stay alive in this lane. Every time we see it, he's half HP, but still keeping his farm up.
Yeah, he's gone with a very standard Lulu build, but it's definitely not aggressive early. Frost Queen's claim is a gold generation item that will help him transition into the rest of his items and help him with the kit, but it's definitely not a lane bully item, so expect him to get pushed in. With the gank top from Udyr, it was matched essentially by Dardoch roaming down, and they have been able to trade turrets, but because of the gank earlier, Team Dignitas has the overall turret advantage.
Lots of pings towards the mid lane. They should be good here. Oh, okay. You scared me a lot. 80% here for Liquid. It probably would have looked like Kirei face checked that brush, but he knows better. A lot of pings going over towards the mid lane, and they know exactly where the danger lies right now. So Liquid feeling comfortable. The map's opened up enough. They try to do a little bit more to get wards forward, get even bigger advantage. So without finding it, take a breather, back into their jungle. I was thinking about it just as we saw Dardoch on the screen a few minutes ago. We were talking about junglers a lot. It's like Dominic to Dardoch has been kind of the same dynamic for this team. A strong jungler that commands a lot in the early game, do the same thing. And that falls in line with Phoenix Piglet. They kind of were used to that last season.
It is really crazy how many similarities there are between Dardoch and Dominate.
Yeah.
Like, it is a true successor to I Will Dominate. As they said it was, Dardoch and Dominate. I remember when Dominate had his retirement AMA or thread on Reddit. It was just a big love fest between Dardoch and Dominate, all complimenting each other and saying how similar they were. And like you say, the way they play, even to the point of have really great performances, follows from some really bad performances, and sometimes don't recover from mistakes, or when they're winning can just take over a game. So far, Dardoch is 2-0-2, but it has been matched by some big plays by Team Dignitas, so Dardoch will have a pretty big impact on this game if Team Liquid wants to win.
Especially with that Elise pickup we were talking about, taking away. Having that champion pool definitely helps as well. Liquid looking to keep themselves in an area for a playoff spot with more wins on the final week of LCS. A bit of back and forth. Exhausted Kirei, that's the kind of kite we were talking about. It would be hard for Udyr to get in. A lot of flashes, a lot of defense being used for Dignitas to get away. They finalize one of the kills as they looked for 3 there. It was looking pretty grim for Dig.
Yeah, really interesting conflict right there because both top laners technically had the option to teleport down as well, although they're looking at each other, so they're going to cancel each other's teleports. But yeah,
that's true.
That's kind of the way I think this game is going to end up progressing. Team Dignitas isn't going to be going for 1-3-1. They're going to be using the classic run at them strategy, which is actually really good with Sivir. Sivir will pop ultimate. Kirei and Billy Boss will try and Zerg in the team fights, and it's going to be a constant battle of whether or not Team Dignitas can get in range versus whether or not they're going to get peeled by Vayne and Jana. Here, the Bard ultimate was supposed to allow more time for Dignitas to run at them, but it missed. So they were then able to use their skills, juke around, knock them back, and they never really closed the distance from there. Kiwi Kid then got run at by the move speed from Lulu, who is speeding them up there. So that's kind of a microcosm of why I think Team Liquid's composition is superior in this sense.
And we saw it was just a split second. That was a Piglet Apollo 1v1 real quick. Piglet dodging multiple abilities, the Tempered Fate. We said that 1v1 was not going to be too fun for Apollo. And we saw the results right there. The Seal now on top of that Blade of the Rune King from Piglet. So as a Vayne, feeling very good. And that Kerchi Shard as well to get his static going on.
Nice pronunciation.
Yeah.
I stay away from that word. I will say the Shard and the Zeal.
The Shard?
Yeah.
Sounds good. I like it. I attempt.
A little bit of extra wave clear if he ends up completing the static shiv there. Phoenix still with that turret standing. However, if Team Dignitas is able to get that turret down and then force a fight around an objective, the overall goal lead could still lead to a pretty big team fight if they actually successfully run at them here. Team Liquid not actually keeping up with some of the map pressure here, and it's a nice timing by Kirei to be here with another Rift Herald buff. Should get the turret.
That was
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so they saw everybody coming over from the right. I was going to say, that's a lot of respect given to just Phoenix. But we see the team kind of waltz in from the right side. A Cocoon would not be what they want right now.
Oh, that turret.
And it is, it's about dead.
That is not much health. 20 of 4,000. So the turret is at 0.5% health right now.
Who's got it?
1 auto attack. Oh, but the shield.
It's too early.
This is how you
It's
get
gonna
weighted
wear
into
off.
fights, actually. Team Dignitas would really want to just go in for that one last shot, but they're expecting, like, as soon as they do that, and at least to flash over a wall or something. So, attempt number 3 for pushing that wave in. They should be getting it on the next wave. I think Shifter could walk up and just auto it.
Yeah.
Without minions.
That you have to have minions under 20 health.
I think it has 230 armor, so maybe not.
Whee!
Oh, might happen.
That's all right. People are just flying around, getting some frequent flyer miles. Lorlo kind of disengaged that one.
Oh my God.
Still alive. This is going to be the turret that actually breaks the record of our new turret last week.
Yeah. It'll be up
It'll just
over
never
60
die.
minutes.
So Spooky Ghosts go out. This may just be to put some wards down. We saw Phoenix moving forward, and they know he's going for blue. So knowledge over to the team of Liquid. Still only that one dragon on the board. We'll see the next one coming up in a bit, but that Baron is now an option. So I'm sure Liquid's going to want to stay away from that. Keep Lorlo in the side lanes, along with Dardoch here, forcing the flash onto Billy Boss. It'll help a little bit. Trundle's still a nuisance, even without it.
Yeah, he could sustain up if he wanted to, or he gets to go back since his teleport is still up. He'll be wanting to pick up Iceborne Gauntlet as soon as possible. Don't think he has quite enough to finish it yet, but he could still pick up his Glacial Shroud, which he does. And the mid turret survives.
Gaining some ground now.
Yeah.
It's a good thing those don't gain health.
Counter push. Yeah, can you imagine? Tier 1 turrets regen.
I'm interested to see how this actually plays out. A lot of wards were given to Apollo in the bot lane. He has free reign over the turret, and Liquid's going to start off on the Baron.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be a full sneak, though. They can easily throw a Bardalt down just to delay if they're suspicious. The Bardalt should come in any moment. Sivir is pushing this whole time, so where's the Bardalt?
Bardalt, there it goes. Baron is down to about 200 HP, and it gets Lulu'd out. Phoenix takes that one down for the team, and it's going to be the rush down on Dignitas. The journey isn't taken. Oh, it's going to be Phoenix. He didn't want it. He didn't want it at all. He gets himself out alive. How is that even possible?
And then the empowered recalls can go back, so Sivir only takes one outer turret on the back side. It means Team Dignitas gains a turret advantage, but boy, oh boy, was that Bardalt so slow onto the Baron there. The whole idea was the Sivir was split pushing, and you stall them in the Baron pit so you can close ground and poke them while the Baron is killing them. But Kiwi Kid just holds on to the Temper Fate for so long. Team Liquid does pick up the Baron, and we'll now look for a counter push. 3,000. Bard is in range for his ultimate this entire time. Throws it at 200. They almost secured the Baron before the Bardalt was up. Tries to steal it with a Q over the wall, can't get it, and at that point it's a Lulu John and Vayne chasing you outside of the Baron pit as Shifter arrives. Phoenix, though, no one else followed it through, and the package AoE had been laid down on the exit to the Magical Journey, which is perfect placement, actually. Look at those shields to take the turret down.
It is. Able to brute force a few down, and that's kind of where that confidence break comes in. Dignitas still has the Sivir comp, but now they have to be confident that it's going to be over that 60-70% chance they'll be able to get to their targets. We're seeing the kiting effect now of Liquid's squad. It's hard for Key Ray to get in there. It's hard for these guys to want to keep the fight. They just keep, or Liquid rather, just keeps walking backwards. 20 seconds on to Dragon. We were saying there were a lot of wards placed previously by Kiwi Kid on the bot side.
Oh my God. So this is
where it gets dangerous, yeah.
Yeah.
That hurts.
And this is also why, even though Team Dignitas have the Trundle and Uter, which are both good split pushers, why they can't 1-3-1 in this game. Because Piglet is just going to use Final Hour, Blade of the Rune King you, stun you against a wall, and kill you. Especially if Matt comes at them in that way. Yeah, Team Liquid has the gold distribution they want as well in this game, so even though it's only a 2,500 gold lead, they are much stronger in the way this game's going to be played.
And they already know where the control is. I mean, Piglet could have stayed with Lorlo here, but they're like, no, break down to mid, push that, come get Dragon. We have Dragon. They're thinking about many different things right now. Not worried about getting everything right away. They're going for the slow dime. Gonna get a lot by doing it slowly.
Yeah, Kirai's going to try and steal this. Nope. And now it's going to be trouble. A lot of slows. Oh. Can the Sivir be faster? Good. Battle of the speed.
Dancing the dances. He gets out. He's alive. It's always a moment, though, but losing that much health each time you are out on the map means you're going to be losing that much more ground every time you have to go back. It's becoming troublesome now for Dignitas to keep their members in a position to defend turrets.
Yeah, very much so. The Zarad portal was completed by Kirai, so that's the hope of creating a little bit more clogging of the lanes. But at the same time, I feel like Team Liquid is going to be able to cut right through that. They still have a Baron-empowered push here. Shifter is not in range.
Oh.
Baron just wore off.
Yeah.
Just slow things down a little bit. There would still be the danger of Piglet getting caught out of position by a Bard ult and then Shifter and Apollo kind of critting him before the shields can take effect. But assuming Piglet and Matt and Phoenix are all kind of grouped together, I don't see a good way for Team Dignitas to kill the Vayne, especially as he's probably going Bloodthirster, so he'll be now double lifesteal item.
I was actually just going to
And
say
an
that.
overshield.
There's not much crowd control to hit him up, but if he does need to cleanse, doesn't have it. He's going to be stuck, so we're definitely going to see Piglet kind of positioning as much as possible, and it's already been a pleasure always just to see him on the Vayne, and I'm sure it's terrifying to be an opponent against that as well, especially when he starts feeling confident. You see that play from him here. 26 minutes in, Liquid looking to close out Week 9. Quite strong here with the first game against Dignitas. But it is not over yet. Like you said, Piglet gets caught. There's not much damage on the rest of the team here that they're looking at, and it could be a drawn-out fight. That's where the rundown gets in for Dignitas.
Turtle ultimate down, and Lorlo's sticking with him. Here comes Vayne once again. Billy. Oh, Billy.
Oh, Billy. Billy goes down once again. Trying to get lanes pushed is a dangerous task in this game, and it only gets more dangerous as it goes on.
He can't do it. It's against his team composition with the Iceborne Gauntlets on Lorlo and not incredible side wave warding or jungle warding.
Yeah.
I think the only way Team Dignitas gets something back is if they group up as 5, Bard ult the peel, get everyone in range, and find a Zorgi team fight, because the split push, they're just going to continue to feed more kills into Piglet, and the more farm Piglet gets, the harder the team fighting itself is going to be.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Team Liquid really in control.
Stealing everything they can on the way out, and even Phoenix now, they're completely playing off the ball. Phoenix to the top lane. Soon it's going to be Waits crashing into each turret here for Dignitas. Definite damage control needs to be figured out at this point. What can it be? Can they choose to go in on a fight, or is it too dangerous? They have to wait for a mistake. Dignitas.
Yeah, I mean, I would say about 5 or 6 minutes ago, they would have been able to choose to go
Pull
on
the
a fight.
trigger, right.
Here, they need to wait until someone shows in a side lane and then try and get a really quick fight in. The problem with that is the only people that are going to be in side lanes are going to be able to support with teleport. So really, what Team Dignitas would want is a 5v3 or a 5v4 where they can use the Bard ultimate onto preferably Janna, Lulu, or Vayne. That way, either the priority target or the peel for the priority target will be temporarily disabled, and it will allow people to run in range with the On the Hunt from Sivir. But that's a lot of conditioning
it makes
to find the ideal fight. It makes it almost impossible.
Really ridiculous. You always have another person to shield or a save. Lorlo. They're like, you want to kill our top laner? We'll come back for yours over and over. The teleports will be used here. A lot of focus. Even Phoenix from the top lane, they feel like there's going to be a big enough fight to gain the rest of the map. And that's Lorlo very low. He could eventually go down. It's going to be the Flash Chomp coming in for Billy Boss. And Team Liquid trying to assess this, reset the fight. They've lost a little bit of lane pressure here. If this one goes down, Matt on the other side, that's the Zephyr to slow down Key Ray. It looks like the finalizing kill will be here. Pix goes in, and it gives quite a bit of help. One binding hits. The Phoenix speed up is still there. And Kiwi Kid's flash comes in. The next one. Glitter goes through a magical journey.
Yep. Even skill shots can get you in there. Tough luck for Team Dignitas right there, because Baron is also just respawning. That was as close of an opportunity as I think they were going to find. There were a lot of people on Team Liquid that weren't there. Piglet wasn't there, so the main damage source was not going to be able to kill Team Dignitas, at least immediately. But Dardoch did enough damage, and Team Dignitas could not land their damage as clean as they would like. And this Baron very easily goes over. They're actually slowing their Baron damage down so that all 5 team members can get it. They wait for Lorlo to revive, and now all 5 people on Team Liquid have Baron.
Whew. Fights as well. See this again, because they're so spread out. There's Apollo.
Yep.
But I'm like, we talk about the Sivir a lot, but he's not getting a chance to ricochet in these fights, deal his damage, do much. They always have one target, and then they can't finalize that target. Everything becomes chaos.
Yeah, Kiwi Kid with the accidental troll on a Billy Boss who teleports in just to get hit by Bard ultimate. He is able to flash in and kill Lorlo. Billy Boss a few seconds late on his teleport as well. Piglet is finally here, but doesn't get to do damage.
He's clearing wards.
Prompts the runaway. And Lulu is faster then Udyr and Bard, as many magical journeys as they would like to try.
I love the
Here we
penguins.
go. Actually fighting in the mid lane, trying to end the game as well, as you can see in the pip. So here we go.
This could be, oh my gosh, Piglet is going so headlong into this fight, and he is disregarding any danger. What a Howling Gale to stop Kirei from locking up Piglet. That would have been huge without the Quicksilver Sash, but he still has the safety of his team. It's literally 4 save Piglet right now. That's how they're playing this one, and it's working out fantastically. Get the Steadfast Presence on for extra safety on the way out.
Yep, and as we mentioned before, quite a defensive build as far as Vayne builds will go. A
Yeah.
lot of lifesteal in that build, Bloodthirster, Blade of the Rune King, and he's also building up to what is probably going to be a Mercurial Scimitar or a Maw of Malmortius. Either one of those, though, will be an added magic resist item, which works very well when you're shielded so heavily and when you're lifestealing so heavily, because your resist will be higher, therefore the effective health you are lifestealing is therefore greater. To get into the nitty-gritty of the math. So, efficient build for these situations. Then he just built a BF sword, because he figures he's going to be alive anyway.
Scimitar is coming.
Oh?
Lorlo on the run. He's focused on the minions. Liquid are playing this one very methodically. Looking at where they go, we did say they have Cloud9 coming up next. That's going to be a difficult matchup. Cloud9 actually face CLG as well, so they have a lot on their docket to be thinking about. It could be a game that Team Liquid's able to take them off guard.
Absolutely. I mean, we know how much confidence Team Liquid can play with, especially going from a Saturday to a Sunday. A game like this can give them some nice confidence. They were able to make a really nice pivot at the very end of Champ Select, realized that Vayne was perfect for this team composition. They very well picked a heavy peel, high move speed composition into a team whose main win condition was to run at them.
Right.
So I like their counter picks, I like their play, and we'll see if they can close it on this push.
Minions slowly creeping down the mid lane. No focus necessary for that. For Pig, though, they can stay here, try to keep it safe, but really letting it go down, that's just going to happen to the champions if it happens to the turret, and it's going to be Kiwi Kid that goes down first. All 5 turnaround priority target on the inhibitor, but now they know the Nexus is in their eyes. Liquid looking to make a good start to week 9. A hit from Lorlo to give them a little bit more breathing room, and they're really not even taking damage at this point. So many shields, heals, pop-ups, knockbacks, everything that they need to keep this fight going long. They are going to lose Dardoch in the end. Piglet goes down as well. Where's the focus? What's going on here? They're able to get down the last Nexus turret. Lorlo knows what's going on. Matt's doing his damnedest. Phoenix still alive from the ashes. Will they be able to take this one down? A few more hits on the Nexus. I think the minions are giving us trouble now.
They might not
and this may not work out. Matt is throwing the attacks, and it's going to be a save. Dignitas keeps the Nexus alive.
It was super close.
The Iron Lung comes into play for Dignitas. Looking at an 8,000 gold deficit. Sorry. Yes, 8,000. Almost couldn't math. My brain is going in circles.
If Dignitas was somehow able to turn the game around win from this, it would be the greatest feeling for the Team Dignitas fans that had to undergo the ordeal that was Week 8, Spring Split 2016. For these guys, Piglet died to the fountain, essentially, while trying to pick up kills. And then little baby Jana right at the end didn't have enough auto attacks to finish the Nexus. Unreal hold as Shifter was barely able to stay alive. Piglet also annihilated Apollo at the start of that fight by stunning him into the Nexus. Still though, 2 inhibitors up for the next push. Watch this one again. Yeah, see Apollo's condemned into the wall, dead right away. And Phoenix! It's over.
Hey, that's
GG.
the game! Liquid take down Dignitas!
The comeback was not to be. Phoenix, the anti-fun teleport at the end. But actually, that was a deserved win, and it should have ended about 2 minutes before then.
Yep. You gotta expect it. Glitter is everywhere. Glitter will ruin everything. Even a great finish. There's still a finish. And Liquid will increase that score 9-8 now. Very much liking their position with energy going down today to 8 and 9. That helps out Liquid quite a bit.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, Team Liquid still technically has a chance at making it to 4th place. If we're looking at the overall standings, very important of them to win this game as well. Distancing themselves from Echo Fox who was looking to make a run.
Yeah.
Team Liquid definitely with their eyes set towards the postseason now. 4-1-4 game from Phoenix, as well as the critical last hit on the Nexus, which did not come easily this game. And I think it'll be a confidence-building game for Team Liquid as they move towards Cloud9 tomorrow.
Especially for Piglet, the rest of the team as well. This composition, we knew they could run it, and they kind of did. Picture perfect, textbook, if you will. You know how the Vayne textbook goes. And looking at the rest of the composition, they stayed true to it. They never kind of swayed. They never said, well, we can push this and then fight. They kept the protection around Piglet, and Liquid kind of didn't show much in the end. I guess that's good for the last week. You can come in, play comfort, don't push yourself to the limit. And if you go to that postseason very strong, I think it'll work out better for you if you're not kind of trying to stretch yourself to the limit to get there in a good position. Yeah,
they could protect Piglet from everything except the Nexus turret. The Fountain turret was a little bit too strong for it. 26,000 damage dealt to champions in that game, most of anyone for Piglet. And I agree with you, just a solid game overall by Liquid. And it's got to feel good for Piglet to get to play Vayne. Because it's pretty much always been his favorite champion to play. Yep. Maybe it's sneaking back into the meta now against Sivir.
And it's kind of been a thing, too. We've heard from Piglet in his interviews I did with him in the past weeks that when he got on the team, or I should say when Loco came to the team, he kind of asked Piglet, what do you need to succeed? And in every week, that's there, but the Vayne's not. So this is a collaboration by the team, knowing that they can kind of go to this and still have a very strong composition in it. So they always have a little to play with. They took the Vayne, pulled it out of the sleeve, and it worked out fantastic.
Absolutely.
Well, let's set it down to Freak right now for a chat with Liquid's victorious support.
Thank you very much, Riv. Great cast of the day. I'm here with Matt after a great Janna game here. I want to talk to you first about the plan coming in. You had a great Protect the Piglet comp. You were playing